good evening, friend. This is a place for warmth and rest. Allow the room to be dim and kind, the air calm, the sheets smooth beneath your hands. Breathe in slowly, as if you're sipping something warm. Breathe out even slower, as if blowing on a candle that never quite goes out. You're welcome to drift in and out of my words. Everything moves gently here. You can let go. You're safe, you're cared for, and all is well. Begin by letting the forehead soften, any tiny lines easing out on their own. Eyelids grow heavy and kind. The jaw loosens, the tongue resting in quiet ease. The neck and collarbones relax, as though familiar tension is setting itself down. Shoulders release and widen, drifting away from the ears. Calm moves through the arms, down to the hands, each finger settling without effort. The back softens, the chest expands with an easy breath. And another, unhurried. Hips grow spacious, legs lengthen into stillness, calves soft, ankles loose, heels anchored, toes warm and uncurled. From head to toe, the whole body is supported, invited to be exactly as it is. Let everything rest. Let everything stay. Here, the story begins to open like a quiet door. Imagine the edges of the night softening, as if brushed by slow falling snow. Somewhere beyond, a forest stands in deep stillness, tall pines resting beneath white, weighted branches. Each tree steady and calm. A small trail winds through the woods, hardly a path at all, just a gentle suggestion where footsteps have passed earlier in the day, now filling slowly with new flakes. And along that gentle trail, a warm glow flickers, amber, steady, welcoming. It's the light of a small forest lodge tucked between the trees, its roof shaped by snow, its windows softened by frost. Inside, a caretaker moves slowly, unhurried, tending to the warmth, keeping the lamp steady, letting the evening settle into every quiet corner as you drift nearer in your imagination. The cold hush of the forest blends into the warmth of lamplight. Snow muffles sound until everything feels velvety and slow. The door of the lodge stands slightly open, as if already expecting you, and the soft winter air lingers behind you as you step into the gentle glow. Inside the lodge, everything feels touched by comfort. The caretaker, an older soul with gentle eyes and steady hands, moves with the calm of someone who has lived many winters here. They adjust a lamp, smooth a woolen blanket over the back of a chair, and listen to the soft crackle of a fire that never rushes. Warm pine fragrance drifts in slow curls from the hearth. a pot of something mild and sweet, perhaps a winter tea, perhaps simply warm water with herbs, rests on a small trivet, releasing little threads of steam into the room. The steam rises, pauses, disappears, rises again, pauses, disappears. The caretaker notices you in that friendly, familiar way, without surprise, without urgency, just a tiny smile, like the glow of an ember. They gesture gently toward a cozy corner near the window where a thick woven cushion waits, soft and deep, as if shaped all winter for a moment like this. You sense how still the lodge is, how everything moves at the pace of a quiet breath. Outside the window, snow continues its patient descent, flakes drifting like soft feathers that don't quite decide where to land. The forest holds its breath, not from cold, but from peace. It is the kind of night where time stretches, slow, 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 like taffy warmed near the fire. The caretaker shuffles to a low wooden shelf and begins preparing a simple warm drink. They move with tiny motions, a scoop of dried leaves, a slow pour of water, a soft stir that barely ripples the surface. The cup is clay, slightly uneven, shaped by hand long ago. Its colors are earthen, brown, cream, a hint of mossy green. When they bring it over, the warmth radiates lightly through the air, as though sharing not just heat but gentleness. You imagine wrapping your hands around the cup, not lifting it, just resting near it, feeling the warm halo it gives off. The aroma is faint and comforting, a little woody, a little sweet, like winter pine softened by honey. The caretaker settles across from you, not to speak, just to be present. Their sweater is thick, knitted in soft tones that mimic the snowy woods outside, creams and grays, a little soft brown. The yarn looks slightly worn in places, suggesting many winters, many evenings like this. They lean back, sighing softly, the kind of sigh that releases hours of quiet work. The fire crackles gently, never sharp, never sudden, just tiny pops and murmurs, like the lodge whispering its own bedtime story. A small lantern hangs near the window, its flame swaying slightly with the warmth rising from the hearth. The light paints the window frame in gold, and beyond the glass, snowflakes catch and glow before resting on the sill. Some melt immediately, some linger, tiny crystals that sparkle and then soften into water. The caretaker hums, barely audible, almost more breath than sound, a slow, familiar tune, the kind sung while folding linens or preparing a simple supper. The hum drifts through the room like a warm breeze, then fades, returns, fades again. You notice the textures around you, the soft wool of the cushion beneath you, the heavy fabric of the curtains, the wooden beams of the ceiling darkened by age and winter smoke. Everything feels worn in the gentlest way, as if many quiet nights have polished the lodge into pure comfort. The caretaker stands, moves to a shelf, and selects a small basket filled with pine cones. They place one on the hearth, then another, arranging them not for function, but for a kind of simple winter beauty. The motion is slow, deliberate, a ritual of calm. A pine cone rolls slightly, tapping the stones with a tiny sound, and the caretaker smiles softly, leaving it just where it settled. Nothing needs to be perfect here. Everything just rests as it is. Outside, the wind drifts through the trees. Not a gust, just a soft, wandering exhale. It brushes the lodge walls and disappears into the snowy hush. The sound is soothing, like someone smoothing a blanket over the forest. A faint scent of cedar rises as the caretaker adds a small log to the fire. The flames brighten, then lower into a steady glow. Shadows stretch, soften, and sway, moving slowly across the wooden floor. Sometimes the caretaker glances out the window, watching the snow as if greeting old friends drifting down from the sky. Sometimes they simply rest their hands in their lap, breathing quietly. The room feels held in a gentle cocoon of warmth, light, and rhythm. Minutes stretch wide. Your breath slows to match the pace of the lodge. Inhale, a soft swell. Exhale, a gentle release. Again and again, until the night feels like a warm blanket wrapping around your thoughts. The caretaker eventually prepares another small offering of comfort, a folded wool throw placed nearby, its fibers soft as brushed clouds. They don't explain it. They simply leave it there, an unspoken gesture of warmth. Their motions create tiny sounds, fabric whispering, footsteps cushioned by old rugs, the quiet shift of wood beneath their weight. Each sound feels like it belongs. Each sound feels slow. The snow continues to fall, thicker now, but still gentle. Each flake drifts as if guided by a sleepy hand. The forest grows deeper, quieter, dreamlike. Inside the lodge, a golden glow pulses softly with the firelight. Your thoughts begin to wander in slow, comfortable loops. Soft memories appear, then dissolve. Warm feelings gather, then stretch out into stillness. The caretaker settles again, this time in a chair near the fire. They tuck their hands into their sleeves and close their eyes, not to sleep, just to rest in the warmth. You feel a quiet companionship, a shared stillness, a sense that the whole lodge breathes with you. Every few moments the fire shifts, a log sighing, a spark drifting upward, a faint glow brightening the stones. The lodge responds with silence, absorbing each tiny sound into its calm heart. Time stretches further, thoughts soften at the edges. Everything becomes warm light and slow snow, and a caretaker humming without hurry. A night that holds you gently, simply, without demand. The world becomes a cradle of winter comfort, a place where the snow falls softly, The fire glows steadily, and the mind drifts like a feather on still air. The night carries you now. Imagine a gentle quilt of stars settling over you, each one a tiny lullaby. Inhale comfort, exhale release. Over and over, a slow, sweet rhythm. The world is kind and quiet. You are wrapped, supported, and peaceful. Words blur into a soft breeze, a distant hum, a warm murmur that dissolves into silence. You can let go entirely and float toward sleep, unbothered, unhurried. Rest comes easily. Rest comes naturally. Rest is here. Good night.